Red Lobster, bankrupt. TGI Fridays, bankrupt. And this week, Bahama Breeze. 28 locations, 14 closed permanently, 14 converted to other brands. People say the same thing every time. Who eats at those places anymore? Prices are too high. Inflation killed them. But here's the thing. A year ago, when Red Lobster filed bankruptcy, we said the same thing. They went bankrupt from the endless shrimp deal. Every headline ran with it. $20 all-you-can-eat shrimp. Lost millions in one quarter. That story, 100% false. The bankruptcy filing shows total debt of $1 billion. Shrimp losses, just 1% of that. The other 99%, rent. $875 million in rent obligations for buildings Red Lobster used to own until someone made them sell, then charged them rent to stay. And here's what doesn't add up. Red Lobster, bankrupt. But Darden Restaurants, owner of Bahama Breeze, stock up 40%. The restaurants are dying, but the owners are thriving. This isn't a restaurant crisis. This is a real estate transfer. Because these restaurants were never about food. They were about the land underneath. Today, we decode the death of Bahama Breeze and show you how the exact pattern that killed Red Lobster is being executed on Bahama Breeze right now. Let me show you the blueprint. 1990. Suburban America is exploding. New highways cutting through farmland, strip malls appearing overnight, miles of empty lots waiting for development. And restaurant chains make a deal with developers, not to sell food, to claim territory. Here's how it worked. Developer builds a new strip mall. Middle of nowhere. No traffic yet. High risk. Nobody wants to lease there. So the developer offers Red Lobster a sweetheart deal. 20-year lease, $12 per square foot. Locked rate. In 1995, that land was worth $8 to $10 per square foot. The bet wasn't the rent, it was appreciation. Red Lobster moves in, cars start showing up, other businesses lease nearby. The strip mall fills, the neighborhood develops. 30 years later, that same land is worth $50 to $80 per square foot, a 500 to 800% return. The restaurant made that possible. It was the anchor, the traffic generator, the reason the land became valuable. But here's the catch. Those 20 to 30-year leases are expiring now. Red Lobster, leases signed 95 to 2000, expiring 2024 to 2026. Bahama Breeze, leases signed 96 to 2007, expiring 2024 to 2027. TGI Fridays, leases signed 98 to 2005, expiring 2023 to 2025. When a lease expires, the landlord has options. Option 1, renew at market rate. 1995 rent was $12 per square foot. 2025 market rate is $45 per square foot. That's a 275% increase. No casual dining chain can absorb that. Option 2, sell the property. Luxury apartments pay 3 times more per square foot. Medical offices pay double. Fast casual chains like Chipotle pay premium rent with less overhead. Option 3, the landlord doesn't care because the restaurant already did its job. It made worthless land valuable. Now it's disposable. But some companies didn't wait for leases to expire. They engineered the collapse themselves, and Red Lobster is the clearest example. Let me show you exactly how they did it.
May 2024. Red Lobster files Chapter 11. Every news outlet blamed the endless shrimp promotion, but look at the actual bankruptcy filing. Total liabilities, $1 billion. Shrimp-related losses, $11 million. That's just 1%. So what's the other 99%? Lease obligations, $875 million. But Red Lobster didn't always owe this rent because Red Lobster used to own these buildings until 2014. 2014, Golden Gate Capital, a private equity firm, buys Red Lobster for $2.1 billion. Same year, Golden Gate does something unusual. They sell Red Lobster's real estate, all 700 buildings sold to a separate company for $1.5 billion. Then, Red Lobster leases back the same buildings. Before sale-leaseback, Red Lobster owned buildings, zero rent. After sale-leaseback, Red Lobster pays $160 million per year, forever. Before the deal, Red Lobster had an 8% profit margin. After the deal, negative 2%. Golden Gate recouped 71% of their investment immediately, then loaded Red Lobster with unpayable rent. 10 years later, bankruptcy. Golden Gate made money. Red Lobster employees, 11,000 jobs lost. Let's look at one location, Red Lobster, Orlando, Florida. Original lease, 1995, $18,000 per month. 2024 renewal offer, $47,000 per month. $348,000 annual increase per location. 700 locations total. Do the math. $243 million per year in added rent. Impossible. Red Lobster was designed to fail. The sale-leaseback guaranteed it, and Golden Gate walked away profitable. But Red Lobster wasn't the first, and it won't be the last. February 2025, Darden Restaurants announces strategic repositioning of Bahama Breeze assets. Translation: 28 locations, 14 permanently closed, 14 converted to other Darden brands, mostly Olive Garden. Same building, same landlord, same company, different sign. Why? Bahama Breeze menu, Caribbean seafood, complex prep, high ingredient cost. Average food cost is 42% of revenue. Olive Garden menu, pasta, simple prep, low ingredient cost. Average food cost is 28% of revenue. Bahama Breeze runs at 11% margin. Olive Garden runs at 22% margin.
Darden ran the numbers. Keeping Bahama Breeze open with renewed leases would add $28 million in annual rent costs. Converting 14 to Olive Garden saves $28 million in rent and adds $12 million in higher margins. Net gain, $40 million per year. Your 30-year memories? Darden's message to employees was, please consider opportunities at nearby Olive Garden locations, 2 miles away. New higher wages, different schedule. That's not a job transfer. That's a press release. Darden CFO, November 2024, said, Bahama Breeze repositioning will have no material impact on financial performance. Translation: the brand was already margin negative. Closing it was just accounting. Darden stock since announcement, up 12%. The pattern is identical. Red Lobster, sale-leaseback, unpayable rent, bankruptcy. Bahama Breeze, lease renewal impossible, close or convert, harvest. Different execution, same result. The restaurant dies, the land gets monetized. So here's what's really happening. In the 1990s, restaurant chains weren't restaurants. They were real estate development tools. You build a strip mall in suburban nowhere, offer Red Lobster or Bahama Breeze $12 per square foot, 20-year lease. The restaurant moves in, traffic follows, other retailers lease, property value climbs. 20 years later, that land is worth 5 times more, and the restaurant's lease expires. Former Red Lobster, Scottsdale, Arizona. 1995, Red Lobster opens. 2024, Red Lobster closes. 2025, sold for $8.2 million. 2026, luxury apartments under construction. The restaurant made the land valuable, then got erased. But why is this happening now? Why all at once? 3 triggers aligned. Trigger 1, interest rates. 2020 to 2022 had 0% rates. Private equity borrowed billions, bought restaurant chains, executed sale-leasebacks. 2023, rates jumped to 5.5%. Debt became expensive. Time to harvest and cash out. Trigger 2, property values peaked. COVID killed office buildings, but suburban retail exploded. Former Red Lobster locations became premium sites, but only if the restaurant was gone. Trigger 3, the real business model. These companies aren't restaurant operators, they're real estate funds. Golden Gate Capital portfolio includes Red Lobster, Express Retail, Eddie Bauer, and California Pizza Kitchen. What do they have in common? Prime real estate in high-traffic locations. Golden Gate returns from 2014 to 2024. Restaurant operations generated 4% annually. Real estate sales generated 28% annually. They were never running restaurants. They were running a real estate arbitrage play. And the harvest is accelerating. You're not imagining it. Bahama Breeze didn't close because Americans stopped eating Caribbean food. Red Lobster didn't go bankrupt because of shrimp. They closed because the land underneath them became worth more than the business on top. This isn't a restaurant crisis. This is a real estate harvest, and it was designed this way from the beginning. So what do? We become glitches in the system. Stop eating at chains owned by investment funds. They're not restaurants. They're real estate portfolios with menus. The CFO doesn't care if the food is good. They care if the location can be flipped for profit. Eat at restaurants owned by people who own their buildings, people who can't sell the land out from under you. When chains close, don't mourn them. They were designed to die. Red Lobster was the warning. Bahama Breeze is the confirmation. Applebee's, Chili's, Outback Steakhouse, leases expiring 2027 to 2030. Same pattern, same landlords, same private equity playbook. When the lost Applebee's in your town closes and luxury apartments go up 6 months later, will you wonder what happened? Or will you remember? The restaurants were just placeholders. The harvest never stops. End of report.